really attractive. Hey peeps! Welcome. So I am live streaming to you from a very different location today. I am in London. I have got a fan going, so if that gets annoying, let me know, and then we'll see how long I can sit and swelter for before I die and have to turn it back on again. So hi Erica. Erica has the power of the wrench today. I don't know if Jennifer can make it on. Hi Julie. If Jennifer can make it on as well, we will have another wrench wielder, and I think Jojo is coming in a little bit later as well. So yes. Hi Lolita. How am I keeping cool? Literally the fan, which you can just see there, it's rotating. So this is what the noise is. So like I say, if this bugs you, let me know and we'll see what I can do about that. Hi Nimore. So I have no unpicking with me today. I have no sewing. It's literally just me. I'm only going to be here for an hour. So if you have any questions, let me know. Oh, Jennifer, you have made it. Hello. Welcome. And I haven't got my mum's laptop with me today, so I have got myself here, so I can read the comments on this, because I am sitting quite far away from the computer. So yeah, I'm going to try and keep up with you guys. Hi Lottie. Hi, oopsie. Seeing this notification has made me realise I'm late for my bedtime for my son. Oh, you've not gone to bed yet? You said that on the train when we were going home the other day, weren't you? Put a child to bed, and then I can come and hang out with you guys. So Champagne Twist, hi, hello, how are you? Hi Alex. I made it home in time. It's finally raining and I have alcohol. Okay. I may or may not have had. I'm so excited. Oh my god, there's loads of you now. Hello, welcome. So hi. Oh, so Equisvita, hello. Linda, hi. Donna, hello. Harriet, hi. Hi Laurie, welcome. Your connection is unstable. Please wait while we try to reconnect you. You've got to be kidding me. I'm in London. It's supposed to be good. So yeah, the internet's been a bit sketchy here. So if I do drop it in and out, I'm really sorry. But technically, I'm in London, which is should be the hub of all the internet. So we shall see how this goes. Yeah, so do any of you guys have any questions? The Patreon peeps this month did not have any questions for me, so the floor is open. If you would like to know anything, now's the time. Ask me anything within reason. And everything goes silent. Literally everything goes silent. Oh, there we go, question. Lottie, right, off to attempt to speed bedtime. See you in about 2 hours if you're still here. I won't be still here, Lottie. But it was really, really lovely to meet you yesterday. I'm so pleased that you came, and it was lovely to hang out with you on the train on the way home. I hope you got home okay. So very nice to meet you, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Let's see, where are we going? Laura, how was theatre last night? The theatre was actually amazing. I was so worried about going to see that play because I don't want to tell you what the name of it is, but at the end of it, the lady threw this out into the theatre, and that's the name of the play. So yeah, I was a bit worried about it because I was just like, what has my friend got me into? And when we got there, she decided to tell me that we were sitting in the front row as well, and this is a tiny theatre, so it was one of those ones that was just like, oh my god. But it was really good. It was really, really funny, so I very much enjoyed myself, and it was really nice to spend some time with Faye. So that was good. I can't keep leaning forward to look at the questions on there. My site's not that good, so I'm gonna look up here. So let's see. Jennifer said, were you good yesterday? Yes, I was good. Now, I did come away with 2 lengths of fabric. One of them was from the fabric swap table, which Mum has very kindly taken home for me, although Mum did decide that she liked it, so I'm not sure if that's actually going to ever make it into my stash, or she might steal it from me. And then the very, very lovely Mark from Girl Charlie, he gave gave Gemma and I a little present for her for organising inviting him. And I've been eyeing this one up on their website for ages. And he gave me some of this. And it's a brushed French terry. No, it's not. It's a brushed jersey. Oh my god, this thing is soft. So that's going to be a top or a jumper of some kind. And pink with leaves. I seem to be doing a lot of pink lately. So yes, I did chicken out of wearing my pink dress because I think it's going to look better with heels. So yeah, but I brought it with me. It's here. I just chickened out wearing it. So right, anyway, where are we? Ooh, let's see. Stein, hello. Hi from Greece State. Can't stay long. Haven't got much later. Well, welcome, and it's very nice to see you. Thank you for coming and hanging out where you can. Alex has forgotten her Patreon password. I can't help you with that, Alex. It won't let me see that kind of information. But maybe reset it. Louise V. Hi Sean, hi Peeps. Hope everyone has had a lovely weekend. Yes, so far so good, definitely. And Alex said you look super lovely yesterday, and your mum looked better each time I see her. That's because mum is awesome, and yes, she does. There's a good dress on her as well. Cherry K says hello. Terry, hi, happy Sunday. You got me stitches. Hi Sean, hi all. Hi Anna, how are you? Louise, that fabric is gorgeous. I know, isn't it? It really, I was so tempted to break my fabric buying ban, and I was just like, no, I know he's got this one online. I won't, because I'm being stubborn now. It's gotten so close to being the 1st of August, and I've not bought any fabric for 2 months that I'm just getting to the point where it's like, no, I'm going to save it up, and I'm going to go and buy all this fabric on the 1st of August. So the whole point of me not buying fabric will totally be negated. But I will have stuck to my guns and did what I said. So yeah. Where we got to, Erica says the fan does make it hard to hear when it blows on the microphone. I'll turn it off and I'll turn it back on again. Mind you, if it's only annoying you guys when it's blowing on the microphone, is it the thing on the top that I can make it? No, hang on. I think I can make it just blowing one direction, so not you guys. 2 secs. Do I just wait till it goes round? Okay, let me know how that goes. If that's better. Right, let's see where have we got to. Hello Jojo, welcome. I'm going to give Jojo the power of the wrench as well. So there's 3 of you there with the power of the wrench today. Don't abuse it, because I can take it away. Hi Julian. Julian, your article in Sign looks amazing. That was awesome. So thank you for sharing that on the Peeps group. That was really cool to see. And let's see. Jennifer says, I just had to climb on top of my bed due to a naughty cat. Would anyone like a big fluffy yellow cat that will lick your face in the middle of the night? Yes, I'll have her. Is it her or him? I think all your cats are hers, aren't they? I can't remember. Let's see. What's that rustle noise? Do you have something brushing against the mic? Yeah, no, it's the fan. So, like I say, let me know if it's still irritating with it pointing that way, because it was swinging before, but it should be slightly better this way when it's not blowing at you guys. Erica says, yes, blow it somewhere else, maybe directly on you. I just sit here and work with my own wind machine. Hi Donna, welcome. And Rachel, hi from Cornwall. Hi. Oh, Small Girl Type Creature is in Cornwall at the moment. She's on holiday. Hi Nancy, welcome. I'm glad you could make it. Harriet says, are you going to the Festival of Quilts this year? I'm going for the first time this year. No, unfortunately, Mum and I are not going this year. We decided to do one of the 2 shows that we do this year. We did the Knitting and Stitching Show March, and it was amazing. We spent far too much money. And as you guys know, I keep harping on about it, we are we are going to go to Australia in January, and we want to go for 5 weeks. So really need to not be spending £700 on fabric at the Knitting and Stitching Show, at the Festival of Quilts. So I won't be there this year, which is really sad. But I will be at the Knitting and Stitching Show next year, and I will be at the Festival of Quilts next year as well. I know Mum wants to do some passes at the Festival of Quilts, so fingers crossed you can come to that one, because it would be lovely to meet you. I'll do a little meetup again, like I did for the last couple. So the fan's better that way. Awesome. Laura said, wrench wench by 3. Yep, basically. Sean's Wrench Angels. I'll take that. I like that. Jennifer, Alexa says she'll take your cat. Yes, it's a her. Penelope Wigglebottom. Penelope is the one that's misbehaving. I love the names that you've given your cats, by the way. They're all awesome. Julie, you need to put the kids to bed. Awesome, no worries. I shall see you when you get back. And Laura, you're unpicking again. What are you unpicking, Laura? And as I said, guys, I have no questions to answer, so it's literally going to be me sitting here and chatting random waffle at you for an hour unless you ask me things. So, you know, I mean, I know I'm good at waffle, but we could go on some very strange tangents if you're not careful. Anna said, I could have another cat. You only have 9. Yes, I mean, around 10 would make more sense, Anna. It really would. Jennifer said waffle-a-thon. A sponsored waffle. Guys, I think we've raised around about just over £400 for charity for yesterday's event from Southampton. It went so well. It was absolutely amazing. So thank you to everyone that could come. It was so much fun. I mean, I literally said to Gemma and Claire, do you want to do this thing with me last year? And they were like, yes. And then they organised it all. And then this year I was like, do you want to do it again? And they both said yes. And then they've organised it all. I've literally done nothing other than turn up and try and help when I could. But Gemma is absolutely amazing and she has done a brilliant job. And it was a really successful event and it was lovely to see all of you there. So thank you for coming and thank you for supporting us. And we, as I say, we'll be announcing what we did actually raise for charity, the official amount. But it's definitely going to be over £400, which I'm just over the moon about. So thank you. That's down to all of you guys and all of our lovely sponsors as well. And yes, I am so surprised that I didn't buy fabric though. I mean, that's 2 trips to the Gold Book Road and one fabric or sewing meetup event that I like. My willpower is awesome. It's actually not, like I said, I'm just being stubborn, but I'm telling myself my willpower is awesome. Lolita is off on a Butterick pattern run. Awesome. Are they on sale at Joann's? But don't tell me that because actually I want some. Laura said, large size jeans I bought from charity shop to harvest the fabric to make ginger jeans, hopefully. Nice. Oh, is that the ones that you, Laura, is that the ones that you were trying to get to unpick for the thing yesterday? Let me know because I know you bought a shirt to do, but did you bring the jeans to do as well? Gingerhead. Alex says, I haven't had a kitten for years. Oh. Michelle, you made it! Yay, welcome. And Louise says, I'm off to empty the washing machine, but I'll take you with me. The joys of the iPad. Love the fact that I'm following you around your house while you're doing your chores. Yeah, and Jennifer, the next time I get a cat, or if Chiana has kittens, I am totally coming to you for naming inspiration for some of those kittens because you come up with the best names ever. Fiona says hello. Hi Fiona, welcome. Debbie, hello. Stratus, hi. Wow, Stratus, what time is it there? It's like it must be like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Are you mental? But welcome. Hello. Debbie, hello, my lovely. Nimue says, I asked my local fabric store sewing school if they rent out their rooms to outside teachers. They hadn't thought about it, so I need to follow up. But do we have Peeps for a class in Northwest Germany? That's really interesting. If they would do that, I would totally be up for that, as long as I could either have a German to English or English to German translator, or everybody spoke enough English, because I'm a typical English person who really doesn't speak another language well at all. Alex has said, I want a lady cat, but she'd be called Molly Bloom. Ulysses is my favourite book. Oh, awesome. Jojo's encouraging Anna. She said, why not go for the round dozen of cats? I would if I was allowed. Long-suffering husband is always spoiling my fun. Well, Mike not let you have more than, you had 3, didn't you? Ooh, more cats. I really ought to just get Chiana to have kittens and just keep them all. Crazy cat lady. And make it, I mean, I'm 40 now, I'm allowed. So it's practically the law. Debbie says, I'm getting a ginger kitty after we come back from Turkey. Oh, so good. What are you going to call it? Is it a her or him? Do you know? I mean, I know you know it's Ginger, but Laura said, I had them with me, but I was unpicking at a painfully slow rate, so we didn't even make it out of the bag. But you did get one of the sleeves off of the shirt that you brought with you, so at least you did something. It was the thought that counts. Oh my God, Anna, you had 18 cats at one point. Wow. That's a lot. And Stratus, it's 4 a.m. It's 4 a.m. Why are you awake? I would not be awake. Mind you, it's Monday morning there as well. Nimoy says, if we fill a class with Peeps, English is fine, otherwise I can play interpreter. Awesome, that would be really cool. So yeah, I will mention it a few times in the different vlogs and stuff, and see if we have any takers for a class in Germany, because that would be awesome. The minimum I would need to do is 8, probably actually 10 for that. But if we can work that out, that would be very cool, and I'd be very happy to come to Germany to do that. Yes, Teresa. Hello, Teresa. Welcome. And yes, I was just about to say, you did win a raffle prize. QQ did buy fabric. She did, yes, but she's not on a fabric buying ban, and her stash is actually getting quite small because she's been sewing up a lot recently. So she's much better at sewing up her things quicker than I am. I just seem to have like a fabric buy. I mean, we all know fabric buying and sewing are different hobbies, but yeah, my sewing is definitely slowed down. I can speak. Slowed down, and the fabric buying has definitely sped up. So this 2 months of not buying anything has been good, because there was so much I can afford. Let's see. We could look at getting you on the schedule Jennifer said we could look at getting you on the schedule for the quilt.com for teaching in 2021. Ooh, yeah. I mean, I'd love to come and teach in America. I am not sure about the legalities of teaching in America. I think Daisy Main is going to help me with working that out, because she comes over to provide courses over here, and there's a way around it being totally legal and not having to get special visas to do that. So I'm definitely up for it. I think it's just one of those things that it needs to be a case of there is demand for it, and if there is, then I shall come. I shall, attempt to teach you to make things. And Jojo said, 18 cats, that's my idea of heaven, absolute bliss. Oh, Debbie doesn't know if the ginger kitten is going to be a boy or a girl. Is there a litter of kittens that you get to go and meet them, and you get to pick one that wants to, or one gets to pick you to become your feline overlord? Donna says, any chance of you coming to Montreal? Would love you to take you around our fabric shops. Definitely up for that. I think what I would like to do, and I've said this before, but Australia is going to be January next year, and towards the end of next year, I would very much like to make it over to North America, let's say. And whilst I'm there, I would like to try and do as many spots as possible. And if I'm kind of made it all the way over there, then heading up to Canada doesn't seem like too far of a thing to do. And I'm aware it's a giant continent. I do know that, and I do know that you can fit like however many millions of us in there, but England's in there. But yes, that would be definitely something I want to do as well. Jennifer says, Stratus, I'm usually awake at 4 a.m. I'll show because I message her all the time. This is true. I always worry about you when you message me that early in the morning, Jennifer. It's like, why are you awake? And I know why you're awake, but it's just like, you need to be asleep. I feel for you. Karen says, no notification. Yeah, no, Karen, it was my fault. I'd set it to private, not public, because I'm an idiot. So sorry about that. But welcome, and I'm glad you made it. Jojo says, yes, I have Vader, Baldric, Lister, and Peggy. No more than 3 at one time. Is that Mike's rule? I mean, you can't blame Mike, because they are demanding and need all of the attention. So you can't blame him. But, yeah. Alex has asked Nimaway whereabouts in Germany, so I'm guessing you guys will answer that. Stratus has said, couldn't sleep, so just staying up, just in case I got called into work. And then Nimaway said, Hildenberg, slightly west of Bremen. Oh, I kind of know where that is. I think I know where that is because you told me this before and I have looked and gone, okay. And Jojo said, pattern collecting is another related hobby. Yes. Fabric collecting, pattern collecting, sewing, all completely separate. They're interchangeable, but they are in and of themselves separate hobbies and should be given equal and deserving attention. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Louise says, I bought some Harry Potter Marauders map on Friday. No plans for it, but I had to have it. I've been looking for that fabric everywhere. I love that fabric. I don't know what I would do with that fabric, but I want it. Jojo, you didn't bring the fat quarters to the event. That's twice now. You'll have to come and see me again. You poor thing. Michelle says, we'll do some research and go from there. We'll hype the demand. I actually think that the amount of people that have said that they want me to come somewhere and do classes, I do think that we genuinely could make these things happen. So we just need to coordinate ourselves and work it out. So we can do this, because I know Kellyanne was talking about doing some classes just outside of Atlanta, and then I know Jennifer was saying maybe Texas along there as well. Definitely Florida. I would love to go to Florida again. I really like Florida. I want to go to Disney World. And obviously I want to go to New York, but New York I think would be a holiday. And then obviously Montreal, and there was Santa Cruz as well, so, and Seattle, because I need to come see Erica. So, and probably Boston, just so that we can go and stalk, because we're going to go via Boston so we can go and stalk Chris Evans, because that's totally normal. So yeah. I think that there is enough of you guys out there in each of those locations that you've asked for that I think we can make this work. So we just need to make it fun. It'll be fine. I'm going to look for you. Erica said, there is demand. I'm demanding it. And Nimue said, I so desperately want the more orders map print. Yeah. What would you make with it, Nimue? Jennifer says, we'll talk offline and figure out the legalities and selfishness of me getting you to Texas. That's totally fine. I would love to come to Texas, and I know that you guys have a giant quilt show there, so I know Mum wants to go there as well. So awesome. Nancy said, if you go to Montreal, go see the lovelies at Closet Case Patterns. Yes, we'll definitely see if I can work that out. Do you know, Nancy, do you know where Victory Patterns are based? Because I know she started doing some classes as well, so I would love her base, and if I could take a class from her, because that would be very cool. Let's see, Jojo says, Jojo, yes it is, I love the vintage ones. Louise V, I am desperate to get my hand on the Marauders fabric, Marauders matte fabric, I love it. So, Michelle says she so needs to come to Missouri. Shall I just come and do a tour of all the states? It'll be fine, let's do that. And Nimue says, I have Marauders matte fabric, knit fabric from that one day we'll make into leggings. Knit fabric, I've only ever seen it on cotton. Where did you get the knit fabric from, Jennifer? Because I think I might need some of that as well. You guys are just the worst neighbours ever. Catherine Hill says, if you come to the US, please do East Coast. Oh, definitely. And I mean, I also kind of have the feeling that it's not going to be a one-off thing. If we do manage to make these sorts of things work, it's going to be something that I will be repeat doing, and I love doing it. So you know, the more the merrier kind of thing. Barbara, hello, welcome, nice to see you. And Alex says, whereabouts in Germany? I have family and friends in Hamburg and Stuttgart area. I could ask as well. I go to Germany every few months. Ooh. And you guys are all talking amongst yourselves now. This is funny. Finish behaviour and sewing machine collection, also a separate hobby. Yes, Alex, for you, sewing machine collecting is a separate hobby. How many do you have? And only one of them was my fault. Only one of them. And I'm sticking to that. Oh, Jennifer says that the Marauders matte fabric is usually available at Joann's in knit and cotton. Jennifer, I might need to talk to you about that as well. Louise says, Jojo, I got it from the local shop in town where I work. Boys, I keep an eye out if they get more in. I bought the last of the boat. Catherine says, I just made an NCW with the Marauders matte fabric for my best friend, and that would be very cool. I think that would be something that I would do with mine actually. It would either be an NCW or the inside of the bag, for sure. Donna says, can I hide in your suitcase, please? Yes. Although I have photographic evidence that it's not that easy to fit in the suitcase. Leanne, oh hello, welcome Leanne. Leanne says, imagine a sewing themed cruise, that would be amazing. I really like that. Somebody else has suggested that as well. I think that would be very, very cool. And I know they do other kind of, they do like fandom based cruises, although, you know, we'd be taking over a very small conference centre. They'd probably only be 12 of us, but still, I like that idea. Jojo says, haha, no, my brain farted that right out. Yeah, I'm coming down for the Nina Mario fabrics and bring them then. Awesome. Yes. So Jojo, I think you, Debbie, Jane, Alex and Hedgehubby, we're going to try and organise a day in August to go and do Goldbrook Road again. I think it has to be a Saturday for Alex and Hedgehubby, but I think that should be all right for everybody else. It may be a little bit crazier than it was when we went midweek, but it's all right. We've got elbows. We can work on that. It'll be fine. So yes, but we need to work out a date. So Alex, let me know which weekends in August work for you and Hedgehubby, and then we'll try and plan around that. Polly Dolly says, down the street from me in Toronto, you can stay with me. Nancy, I know how small your house is. Are you sure you're up for that? But yeah, is that so? Victory Patterns are literally your local pattern company. I love that. You know the sewing label that you sent me. I've decided that I'm going to sew it into the Nancy coat, the Ulysses trench coat. I'm going to put it right under my kiddish behaviour label. I'm going to put my Made by Shetland label under there because I think that would be really cool. So thank you for sending me that, and thank you for the card as well. That was absolutely lovely of you. And Nimoy says to Jennifer, the Age of Fabulous, I'd want the print on cotton and just make a large gather skirt with it. It's too light to wear close to my face. I can see myself rocking a Harry Potter skirt. I can see myself rocking a Harry Potter dress, to be honest. I can see myself having the entire outfit, because usually I will buy those kind of fabrics in enough to make a dress, and then the offcuts to get turned into NCWs and bags, so I could have like a entirely fit to toe matching outfit. And yeah, I probably would wear that out in public if other people would be seen with me. Donna says Victory Patterns is in British Columbia. Thank you for that. I'm not very good with Canadian states. Toronto is Vancouver is the west coast. Toronto is the east coast. I think I may have that completely wrong. Please don't at me if I have. Nimoy says, when Sean goes to the East Coast, you American peeps need to prep a search and rescue party to the New York Fabric District. What are you trying to say, Nimoy? I'm totally taking an empty suitcase with me though as well. I am totally taking a giant empty suitcase, paying for extra luggage so that I can basically take the entirety of Move Fabric store home with me. Jennifer says, I'll take a look at the next time I'm in there, what yardage. I'd also get a discount because I teach knitting classes there. Jennifer, magic words. And Erica says, not only are Alex and I machine twinsies, one of hers is named Erica. This is true. Alex says, a question, if you make a shirt for a man, do you go for French seams or just flat felled? And another one, would the QQ ever consider making a tutorial on shirts, or you? Yes, Mum is definitely considering doing a sew along for a shirt pattern, and she is definitely the expert. I've never made a shirt for a man before in my life. I may start, but I haven't yet. I think Mum does a combination of French seams and flat felled seams. I think she actually does faux flat felled seams. I think some of the times that she does French seams and then just stitches down the loose edge of the French seam, so it looks like a flat felled seam from the outside. But I am not 100% sure. So yeah, but yeah, she's definitely up for doing a solo one. And then Alex has said Erica is my favourite machine, and she then also said I only have 9 machines. 9. I have 3. And they all do different things, my 3. Not Alex, do all your 9 do different things, or have you got like multiples of things? I know some of yours are industrial and some of yours are domestic. So, but do you have? I know you've got a cover stitch and a blind hem, and then do you have like just a straight stitch industrial, or let me know once you're in the thingy. So I'm trying to keep up. I'm doing quite well though. I'm not that far behind. Jojo said I would love a sewing cruise. I would love a sewing cruise as well. Let's see if we can organise a sewing cruise. Wonder how much it would be to hire an entire cruise ship for a week. Yeah, that's totally feasible, right? Jennifer says, what type of sewing machine does everyone have? She has a Husqvarna Topaz 50. Mine, as you probably know, is a Benina 830. I also have the Benina 1150 MDA overlocker, and then I have the Nets for B40 or B45 cover stitch. And Ginger, Alex says, after the festival of quilts, I might not have money to go to London. Ah, yes. Yes. I think Head Chubby is not going to leave you unattended for the entire time because, you know, every time you go to the bathroom, you buy sewing machines. So Nancy had to leave. So bye-bye, Nancy. Thank you very much for joining us, my lovely. It was lovely to see you. Lynn, hi, welcome. Nimue says, I'm a singer girl. I have a tradition, a heavy duty 5511, and the HD overlocker. Nice. My very first machine was the Singer Featherlight 2, and I only recently got rid of that. And I didn't get rid of it, I donated it to the charity shop because I just never reached for it. Even when mine was going in for repair, trying to go from my giant beast of a thing to that tiny, tiny little thing, I just hated it. There wasn't enough room, and it didn't do the things that I was used to it doing, and it didn't have the knee lift, and it didn't have all the things that, you know, bells and whistles. And you don't need the bells and whistles, but I've gotten used to the bells and whistles over the last 6 years. So, yeah. Jojo says, not sure your anxiety would cope with London on a Saturday. Yeah, that's right, Jojo. I am very happy to go shopping with you in London on a midday week. That is a midweek day. Words, I have them. Yes, I'm very happy to do that. So let me know whenever is good for you. Louis says, I sew on a vintage Singer which belonged to my husband's mum. It means a lot to me because I never got to meet her. Oh, that's lovely. Lynn says, yeah, I totally wear a Harry Potter dress too. What's your Hogwarts house? I am a Ravenclaw. What are you guys? Yes, although I have logged in and taken the test on a couple of different emails to see if I got different answers, and I've got Ravenclaw every single time, so I think I'm just a Ravenclaw. Leanne says, my sewing machine is a Toyota RS 2000, which is quite old. I don't think Toyota make sewing machines anymore, do they? But I know the ones that they did do are very good. I think that's one of the things. The older machines are, because they're completely mechanical and not computerized at all, tend to be workhorses that, you know, as long as you maintain them, will never let you down. Anna has said to Jennifer, I currently sew on my Frister and Rossmann. I have other machines I have collected. You just did a vlog on your sewing machine, didn't you, Anna? I haven't watched that one yet, but I will do. But it's the one you bought to the sewing retreat, right? I think that's right. Let's see. Eleanor. Hi, Eleanor. Welcome. Nice to see you, my lovely. Been baking and making pickles. Awesome. I'm good, thank you. How are you? It's very nice to see you. I'm glad you could make it today. Alex has just said, yay, sew along. I'll just have to let Mum know now that she needs to do a sew along for a man's shirt. It's with the thrift shirts, we started off with the Lacala pattern, which Mum made straight from the pattern as it came, and then we moved on to the Walden Negroni shirt, which Hannah sent Dad for the KB pattern swap a couple of Christmases ago. And whilst that one doesn't work for Dad because of the size ranges are quite broad enough, the instructions there are amazing. So what Mum's done is she's modified the Lacala pattern, but then uses the Walden's instructions because the instructions are just really, really good. So yeah, but she's done loads of little tweaks to things and added facings and taken away the collar stand because he doesn't like that. And the pockets need to be big, as you know. So yeah, I'll see what she thinks about doing a sew along for that. But fingers crossed she should. Jojo says, my first machine was one of those machines too. Her name was Ruby Doo. I never named my sewing machine. I've never named anything. I don't know why, because I clearly nickname everybody else, as you guys know, but none of my machines have got a nickname. That's weird, right? Is that weird? I think that's weird. Oh, Donna says, my mistake victory patterns are in Toronto, not British Columbia. They're in Canada. I know that. But yes. just down the street from Nancy. So, like she said, I can come stay with her and go and bother them. So, Alex says she does faux flat felled seams and feels like a fraud. There's nothing wrong with that. This is the point of sewing. It is one of those things that, yes, there are rules. Once you know what the rules are, they can be bent and broken. And no answer is the right answer as long as you get the desired result. So, if you find a thing that works for you, do that. The way that I do bias binding is not the correct way of doing bias binding at all. There are lots of different methods for doing it, but it was just something that I was playing around using bias binding, and I noticed that my blind hem foot had a guide on it, so I was just like, let's give that a try. And I love the way that comes out. There's loads of different ways of doing bias binding, but for me, that was the one that works the best. So I think that's the nice thing about sewing is whilst there are lots of different ways to achieve the outcome, none of them are the right way, so you can pick the one that works for you. Let's see. Jennifer says, I have 3 machines, my main machine, backup, and a serger. That's the thing I don't have. I don't have a backup machine. And I am looking into getting a Benina 820, a second-hand one, because we were looking at getting a semi-industrial G-key that just does a straight stitch, which I would really, really like, but you need to have a table that goes with that. And as you know, we don't have that much room in our sewing room. Whereas if we got the Benina 820, the difference between the Benina 830 and the 820 is that the 820 doesn't do the embroidery and doesn't do sideways motion. But if my machine broke or was in for repair, what I would want the 820 to do would just be straight sewing. I wouldn't want it to be doing embroidery and things like that. And I like that it's basically the same machine as mine, so it wouldn't be another learning curve on that. Although if we had room, I would totally go for the G-key. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. But I don't have a backup, as you know. Mum's very kind and lets me use her machine if I need to, if mine's being silly. But thankfully, since I've had it serviced, and it's probably due for another service now, but since I've had it serviced, I have managed to be able to fix the few little tweaks that have gone wrong since then. So yeah, maybe I still think a backup would be a good idea. I'm going to end up like Alex and have like an entire room of sewing machines. After watching your video on how the blind hem sewing machine works, I want one of those as well. Louise, hello, welcome. She says, good evening, Sean. A bit late, but I'm here. Welcome. It's very nice to have you. And then Alex said, backups and backups. Yes, I can see that. Donna says, my machine is a Janome Atelier 6. I've never used a Janome. Beautiful Things HQ have Janome machines, and they look great. And everybody was sewing beautiful bags on them. But I've never used one. And I think I went for Benina because my mum's a Benina girl. So when I was saying I was going to buy a new machine, she was just like, Benina, buy Benina. I was like, okay. So I did no research whatsoever. I just went to the local store and went, what's the best one that you have? And they said this. And I was like, here's my money. So yes, you probably ought to have done a little bit more research and gone and tried them out. But when your mum tells you something's good, you're like, yeah, okay. Mary, welcome. Hello, Mary. Nice to see you, my lovely. Mary has counted her machines up, and she has 13 machines. I just bought the Brother Dream Machine 2 for in-machine embroidery and hip quilting. Nice. We're very much like the embroidery group that you started, Mary. I know I'm not very active on that at the moment, but I'm enjoying all the articles and the different things that you guys are putting in there. It's a great resource. So if anyone is interested in that, ask in the Peeps group and I'll point you in the right direction. Leanne says, Leanne's called her machine Tilly. I like that. See, I think I may be one of the only people that hasn't named a machine. Erica says, I have 3 domestics, 1 industrial, a Brother Serger. My main is a Juki HZLDX7. Nice. Alex says, 2 cover stitch, 3 overlockers, 2 industrial, 1 domestic lock stitch, and an industrial blind hemmer. Okay, I have 3 more, but they are vintage for spares or just to look at. But the 9 are my main ones. There is nothing wrong with having a collection of a thing that you love. I know somebody that's just bought 11 of something because 10 is not enough, but that's a reduced collection from 17, I think. So it's going in the right way. Let's see. Oh God, don't read my last comment aloud. Head Chubby is listening. I'm sorry. The comments are scrolling really slowly on my phone. It's all right, Head Chubby. It's fine. Just don't leave her alone at the Festival of Quilts. It'll be fine. Let's see. Jennifer is a Gryffindor. Nimoy is also a Ravenclaw. Karen is a Ravenclaw as well. Jojo is a Gryffindor. Lynn is a Ravenclaw. And she totally didn't cheat on her Pottermore sorting. I don't know if I believe you now, Lynn. Jennifer says, Alex and Co, you need to come. You need a new house for your machines. I would love to come to your house and sew. Yeah, I want to come to Alex's house and sew as well. Laurie says, Singer Quantum 5000 HD and Serger also have a brother embroidery machine and a cover stitch. Oh, and my grandmother's Singer. And Teresa says, Toyota still do machines. Awesome. I haven't seen those. It's not one of those names that I hear very often. And I knew that they did vintage ones, but I didn't realize they also did new ones. So that's very cool. Laurie is a Slytherin. Very nice. And Alex says, I'm going to part with a few. My house is not big enough. Alex, I'm not sure I believe you. Let's see. Debbie has said, mine said Janome CXL301 and a Janome 9200D overlocker. Awesome. Louise, I'm a Ravenclaw too. Might check out my local shop for some Ravenclaw fabric. Nice. When I made one of the NCWs for who was it? They went to Germany. I know they went to Germany, but I made one that had a secret Slytherin. So the inside of the zipper pockets was Slytherin fabric, and that was so expensive from the Festival of Quilts. But it was totally worth it because it was awesome. So it was all green and silver, but then inside it looked beautiful on the outside, but it wasn't overtly geeky. But yes. Catherine says the only machine maybe your comment got cut off. Harriet says, I have 4 machines, 2 vintage ones, a brother Innovus, and an overlocker. Nice. I did have my grandmother's old Singer Featherlight, the original, but the wheel, the hand crank had sheared off, and we tried to fix it to just make it into decoration. We couldn't, so we gave it to somebody who hopefully could fix it. Let's see. Jojo says, machines work better when you christen them. What should I call mine? Maybe I ought to have a vote for that. Like, guys, what should I call my machine? It's a Benina 830. What should it be called? Leanne says, rules are there to be broken. Find the thing that best suits you. Completely agree. Michelle says, I am back from the Great White Fishing Trip. Great White Fishing Trip? You're in Missouri. Explain. Tell me more. Nimoy says, I'm currently eagerly awaiting my TARDIS fabric from Spoonflower. The money was a gift for my birthday in November. Which TARDIS fabric did you go for? My cousin from Australia had organised, commissioned me to make her some cushions for her spare room, and they were all Doctor Who themed, and one was TARDIS fabric, and then the other one was timey-wimey wibbly wobbly. So there's some amazing stuff on Spoonflower. I love those. Louis says, I have 3 sewing machines, 2 overlockers, and 2 embroidery machines. Sadly, I have the extra from my mum no longer being with us, but I cherish them so much. Aww. So many people have inherited their machines from family members, and I love the fact that it's something that brings joy, and it's something that is just so, that they've used it, and it's just a lovely thing to have. Michelle says, my machines are Husqvarna Viking Jade 20. I like them. Louise says, Janome are okay to use. As I say, never have, so yes. Michelle would like a cover stitch machine. I really like mine. I need to use it more. T-shirt week is happening. I know I've said that for about a year now. I was so shocked when I was editing the footage for the pink dress sew along. I went to put in the video, the footage of me editing, tracing it and altering the pattern and stuff. I filmed that on the 3rd of March. That pattern's been cut and waiting to be sewn for that long. This year is kicking my ass. I'm starting to feel a lot better, but the beginning of this year has sucked ass massively. So Karen said, yes, desperate for a cover stitch too. You don't need it. You can get a twin needle for your machine, but I just love it. I love the fact that, and I know it does more than just hemming jersey, but I really, really like that. Michelle says, then let's just not count on the vintage machines I've purchased over the last month. Yeah, no, we won't talk about that, Michelle. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Brookdale says, my overlocker is having a drop at the moment. I've just bought some fabric, including a tightless one, to make tiny leggings for my 2-month-old, and now it won't play. Not enough tension on the needle thread. Oh no, that's my worst fear. So far, my overlocker has behaved itself. We just had to have the lower loop replaced on it, which was fairly expensive, but given that it's nearly 6 years old, apparently that's one of those things that just does get replaced every now and again. But it's never really thrown a hissy fit. I'm very glad about that, because other than looking in the book and then looking on YouTube, it's one of those things I ring my dealer and I'm like, have you got any idea? You tried this? Oh yeah. So I hope you get that fixed, Brookdale. Laura says, I have a Benina Activa 1 through 5, very old, very reliable normally, but currently in the repair shop because the tracking needed adjusting. I think it's one of those things though, isn't it, that every now and again it just will need, like, that many moving parts, they just do need looking after. Anna says, Sean, yes, hun, that is the one. Great workhorse. You, yes, recently did a vlog. You know what it's like. You do a video, realise more needed to be shown. I do other videos specifically on the features. Yeah, no, I like watching machine, like sewing machine tours, as it were, kind of thing, because it's really, I get a lot of questions about my machine and just saying, is it worth the money? Is it worth all the bells and whistles? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? I'm thinking about doing this or upgrading or buying a machine. What would you recommend? And I mean, like I say, I've gone from the Singer Featherlight 2 to the Benina 830. So I went from a £200 machine to a £6,000 machine. There was no in between. So I have not tried any of those other models to be able to say, well, this is a really good one, this is a really good one. So I really enjoy watching other people's videos when they go in depth about what they like and what they dislike about their machines, because I think that's important as well. Nothing is going to be perfect and nothing is going to be all singing and all dancing. My Benina is amazing, but when it has a hissy fit, it's a major hissy fit that is not something that I can remedy usually. So yeah, there are pros and cons for everything, but I do very much enjoy watching people's reviews on their machines, because it's something that I can then say to people who ask me those questions. Have you seen this video? Have you seen that video where these people are recommending these things? So yeah, I enjoy those. Plus, I'm a bit of a sewing machine nerd, not as much as Alex. I also will send people to Alex for recommendations for sewing machines because she knows way more about it than I do. But yeah. Jennifer says, I would love a vintage sewing machine for decoration use. I really want to keep Granny's one for decoration, but it wasn't working. So Gemma, hello, welcome Gemma. I have one brother sewing machine, the only one I've ever had, and an overlocker. I've never named my machine and actually haven't had it serviced either. Go get it serviced if it needs it. Don't be like me, because I left mine for 4 years and then had a massive repair bill for bits and pieces that needed doing because it had left it so long. So yeah, have it serviced. Trust me. Ask me how I know. Louis says, I think all that's so tend to have more than one. Yes. Jojo is getting her hand crank singer from her mum. Very nice. Are you going to use it or are you going to look at it? Are you going to be like Bernadette Banner and you're going to sew your Mina Murray costume on that? Let me know. I want to know that. Barbara says, I love my Janome. Had it for 15 years without any problems. Even sewing bags and thick interfacing works great. That's one of the things that I love about my Benina, is that it will sew through about 14 layers of fabric and just, it doesn't like it. It likes to let me know that it's having a hard time. It's just like, I will do it. Just don't make me do it too often. I'm not even going to try and say that word. Humanizing my sewing machine. That's totally normal. Eleanor says, I have a sewing embroidery Benina, older Benina sew only, Benina serger, brother cover stitch, Benina embroidery only, want an industrial. Eleanor, the Benina embroidery only, which one do you have? Is it the 24 needle one? Because if it is, oh my God, I want that too. And they won't actually sell it in the UK because there isn't a market for it. So I'm very jealous. Louise says, I have a treadle singer and it's gorgeous and still works. Very cool. when I was in Holland for a friend's wedding, and one of the seamstresses had mistakenly taken in one of the bridesmaids' dresses to make it into a size a 12 from a 12 to an 8, and she'd done it to the wrong one, and it needed to be to the 10 that was taken into an 8. So the night before the wedding, she went to try on the dress, it didn't fit, and I had to go and fix it. And the bride's mum had a vintage Singer treadle machine on display in her front room. And she's like, yes, I have a sewing machine. And I suddenly had the fear that she was going to start expecting me to use this treadle machine. Thankfully, she brought out something else. I think it was Viking. But I was just like, oh my God. I was up till 2 in the morning fixing those wedding dresses, those bridesmaids' dresses, so that they worked for the 2 bridesmaids that needed them. That was not stressful at all. And we weren't even going to go back to her house that night. We'd gone out for dinner and we were going to go back to the hotel room. And thank God we did, because otherwise there would have been 2 bridesmaids, not with bridesmaids' dresses. So yeah, that was not stressful. Jennifer says, my main sewing machine name is Toppy, and my backup machine is named Helga the Husqvarna. Let's see. Lynn says, I have 7 sewing machines and 4 overlockers. In fairness, some came from my grannies, and aren't there worse things that we could spend our money on? Absolutely. Oh gosh, you guys have started suggesting names for my Benina. Betty the Benina, Brandy. Name your machine Claude. I like that. That actually might be a winner. I don't think I can name her Betty. I think Big Bird's named the one that Mum gave her something like that. I think she has. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I think Nia's is something like Betty. But I like Claude. All right, Claude. Alex says, the comment about me buying another machine is not to be read aloud. And Hedge Hubby says, hello, and he got himself a treat, and he's in trouble, and I know what he means. Oh dear. Hi, Hedge Hubby. Anyway, it was very nice to see you yesterday. Thank you for coming. Thank you for bringing Alex with you. I mean, I know you'd have come by yourself if Alex didn't want to go, but it was nice that you did bring her. Call your machine Betty. Wasn't that the name in your family, or have I got that wrong? No, actually, technically, my middle name should be Betty. I was named after my Auntie Betty, but my middle name is Elizabeth. But when Mum was naming me, she didn't realise that Betty was christened Betty, not Elizabeth, so I got Elizabeth. And if we were going by tradition in my family as well, I would actually be known by my middle name, so technically I should be Betty, but I am Sean. I'm glad I am. Jojo says Captain Caveman is my suggestion. Okay. Slightly odd, Jojo, but all right. It's coming from you, so, you know, what do we expect? Guys, we've got 8 more minutes. 8 more minutes. So if you have any burning questions, get them in the comments now. I think I'm not too far behind you guys, so we should be good. Julie says, what is everybody making at the moment? So when I get home, I have the new look sew along to do. I have the Lacala sew along to do. Then I have the 2 maxi dresses that won. I have this month's dress that's won, which I'm really excited about because it's very different for me. And then I also have the McCall's tops to do. I have the PJs that I wanted to do, the beach pajamas that I wanted to do, and the linen fabric to turn into a skirt. So I haven't got that much to do at all, and should get that done by Wednesday. It'll be fine. Stratus says, since you're kittenish, call it K800 instead of the T. Oh, isn't it the T800 from Terminator? That was the T. I can't remember what they're called now. I'm sure you're right, but the K800, I like that. Nimue says, I got the Toile de Joie print. Oh, the one that I've got as well, with the Weeping Angels and the TARDIS and the Daleks on it. Awesome. It was love at first sight, and I'm pretty sure it's your fault. It's not my fault. You went for the organic cotton sateen. I really like that fabric. What, are you going to make a skirt with it? I think you said. That would be very cool. Very cool. Anna says that she should get her sewing machine serviced as well. Yes, do it, people, do it. Catherine says, I've seen a vintage Singer treadle on a road trip for only $50. Almost bought it, and for some dumb reason didn't. Still beating myself up over that. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, and Eleanor's embroidery only is the Nina 720. So is that what you do? You keep that one for embroidery only? Because I know that they have embroidery only machines, but you you have one that's always set up for that. That would be very cool. I actually, if I did get the 820, I might set the 830 up as an embroidery only, unless I needed it to do the sideways motion, because as I said, the 820 is basically the same thing. That's another reason I might do it, because I think I would do more embroidery if I did, because at the moment, if I do embroidery, then that takes the sewing component completely out of my day, and you kind of have to babysit the embroidery unit, because the minute you turn your back on it, at least mine, the minute I turn my back on it, it's like, aha, what can go wrong? Let's do all of it at the same time. So yeah. Jojo says, yep, I'm going to use her, and in related news, she's been christened Mina, because that's going to be the first mate that I create on her. That's really cool. We're definitely going to need to film that. We're going to need to see that, Jojo. Even if you only put it in the Peeps group. No pressure or anything, but yeah. Alex says, you are welcome to them, though not all are set up, and I'm selling the Subaru Industrial because I want the Juki Industrials. Is that the new one that you're going to get at the show, Alex? Donna says, how often do you change your needles in your sewing machine and serger? In my sewing machine, I change them every project, or if the project is going on quite long, I will change it every day that I go back to a project. And you can kind of hear when your needle's blunt. It makes a much more definite puncture sound. At least that's my theory. But for my overlocker, I don't change them as often. And at the moment, because I only ever sew knit fabrics on my overlocker, I never sew wovens on it. I don't like, and this is my preference, and I know lots of people do, but for me, I prefer French seams or pinking or bias binding on wovens, and I don't ever overlock the seam, the raw edges of woven fabrics. So the needles I have on my serger are ballpoint, and in my head, they don't blunt as quickly. So I don't change them as often, and probably I don't change them as often as I should. But for my sewing machine, I do change them every project or every day that I'm using it. So yeah, quite often. I've just bought the Schmetz 100 packs of needles because they were 25 quid rather than £4, £5 for a pack of 5. So yeah, makes sense. Anna says, bobbin Benina, possible. Eric has answered John's question as well. They say every 8 hours of sewing, but that does not happen in my house. Yeah, that is the rule of thumb, but I think it's one of those things as well that depends what you're doing. Say, for example, if you're sewing through sequins, you need to change your needle way more often because it will blunt much, much quicker. So it's just one of those things that whatever project you're working on, you need to kind of gauge how long your sewing needle stays in your machine for. Let's see, Lynn says, I've nearly finished a self-drafted sleeveless shirt. It just needs buttonholes and buttons. Jane Richard, hello Jane, welcome. I didn't see you sneak in. I think you should call your machine Gloria or Glow for short. Oh, I like that. I still think Claude is my favourite suggestion so far though. Nimaway says, Jaco said, I'm making placement. What? But I'm making placemats as a gift, and I have closed to finish the by hand London Xena dress lying on the couch. I haven't made the Xena yet. I need to. I like that one. Jojo says K9 is another suggestion. K9, yes, I like that. I like that a lot. I wouldn't expect it to answer me back though. Alex says, for sewing machine at least once a couple of weeks, or for a project that needs a different needle. Stratus, I've got a K9. That doesn't surprise me, Stratus. Nina, Eric says Nina the Benina. Claude is still a front runner. Barbara, I'm taking my old favourite dress apart to use as a pattern for a new dress because my last dress makes for fails. That's really sad when that happens. I was so pleased with that pink one that I've just made because I wasn't expecting it to be as much of a success as it has been, so I'm very happy with that. Let's see. Erica said, Jojo said to Erica, good call, lol, nerdgasm. We're a bunch of nerds and we know it, it's fine. And Lottie, hurrah, speedy bedtime. Lottie, you have made it in time for me to say goodbye, but I'm very glad that he went to bed for a speedy bedtime for you. And as I say, it was absolutely lovely to meet you yesterday, and thank you for hanging out with me and Debbie on the train on the way Lynn says, totally didn't know you could get packets of 100 machine needles, so I shall have to investigate. Guys, I'm gonna, Amazon have contacted me recently and they've said that I can open my own Amazon shop front. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put all, and the thing with that is that it will contain affiliate links and I will get a commission for everything that you buy through that, but it doesn't add to the price that you guys pay. So it's the same with the affiliate links that I have in my description box. So anytime you click on one of those, I do get a small commission, but it doesn't cost you any more. They have allowed me to have my own storefront, so I'm going to put in the machine needles, the rivet press, the rivets, all those kind of things. I will put all of those in there. It's going to have some random stuff in there as well because I'll be able to put like a favorite section and I'll be able to section the shop off. So I'm going to do that so that I can, literally when I say things like the needles in the 100 packet, I can send you that way. And if you don't mind buying through me, that would be absolutely amazing, as I said, because I get a very small commission. So that's very cool. Donna said, I think you should call your machine Cat. Alex has said, okay, I have to walk the dogs. Thank you for chatting. Have a good day, evening. Nice, thank you very much for hanging out with us, Alex. Jennifer says, Penelope is lying on the bed watching the end of the stream. She's calmed down and in love with Sean. Well, you know, who isn't, Jennifer? Debbie says, I've just realised I've never taken my own locker in for a service and I've had it for about 15 years. Guess what I'm arranging next weekend? You're very lucky that your lower looper has not decided to go squiffy. But yeah, I have it serviced. Have it serviced. It's worth it. Richard Dean Anderson, aka MacGyver, has held my. I love Richard Dean Anderson. He is amazing. Lottie says, "Oh no, recently bought a load of those folders. You would have made a fortune." That's okay. Like I say, I'm going to put those folders in. The whole thing will be in my Amazon storefront, so I will get that all set up, and I will be having it linked in the description of the YouTube videos and everything like that. And then Anna said, "Oh yes, if we saw you at the station yesterday." I was literally running for my train. I had 1 minute to get it. So I did see you. I tried to wave, but I was running for the train. And it was and Laura dropped me off, so I was fine. Anyway, guys, it's been an entire hour of me waffling at you. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you very much for all of you who have come and hang out. And as I say, next month, I'm going to do a really early one. Well, I mean, say early. It's going to be 9 or 10 a.m. But hopefully that will work slightly better for the Australian peeps, and it may work for the American peeps, but it might be a late night for you guys, or you may have better plans for your Saturday night, who knows. So I hope you have enjoyed, and it was lovely to see you all, and I will see you, I'll see you all tomorrow in the vlog, but I will see you all live next week, next month. Words, I have them. Bye! And now it's